A wounded Russian soldier is being evacuated. Nothing critical, his wounds will heal.
Кабана, блядь, надо. А, вот эти подвернуть чуть-чуть, понял? А? Вот эти сюда к этой лямке подвернуть. Вот эту лямку к этой лямке, понял? Заворачиваешь, легче пишу. Давай.
In Zaporizhia, Russian Molniya drone operators destroyed temporary deployment points of the Ukrainian armed forces. Reconnaissance drones first revealed the positions and recorded their coordinates. Then, aircraft-type UAVs struck and destroyed the positions one by one.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Цели готов! Орудие! Выстрел!
The Russian Defense Ministry reported that Russian artillery destroyed storage facilities for Ukrainian armed forces equipment on the right bank of the Dnieper.
Выстрел!
2 drones of the armed forces of Ukraine, in perfect condition and intact, have fallen into Russian hands. According to the news report, they say, "We will update the software, change the colors, and fly over the enemy." Russian reconnaissance has uncovered the bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces. The bunker was hit in the first attack, and for some reason, which I can't understand, the soldiers inside came out and preferred to hide outside. I guess they thought they would be camouflaged in the shade of the trees and in the grass. They realized that they had been detected by Russian reconnaissance drones and quickly went back into the bunker. Then the bunker started to be hit one after the other by attack drones. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Sumy direction. The Russian assault group broke into the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Almost effortlessly, it captured all the soldiers. No shots were fired. There was no fighting. They just surrendered. Those moments were captured on the helmet camera of a Russian soldier.
Быстрее! Тихо. Стой! 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 У него кольцо здесь нахуй торчит. Ты чё, блядь? Под гранатники! Сколько человек там? Давай, давай, давай дальше. Туда! Туда, туда. Проходи, проходи, проходи. Через меня! Через меня иди! Вперед, вперед, пошел ты вправо! Вот сюда стоишь, наконец! Сюда иди! Сюда, сюда, сюда. Сюда. Давай, 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 давай. Стой. Там остался кто еще? Сразу сюда кидай. Автомат, автомат выкидывай, нахуй. Давай сюда. Давай, пошел. Давай, руки поднял. Все, давай, давай, давай назад. Слышишь? Еще кто есть там? Давай руки, руки.
A soldier with the DIM call sign single-handedly demined a road in the SSO area, opening a passage for Russian troops. The footage shows the deminer using a metal detector. a measuring tool, and his own hands to find and remove explosives left by the Ukrainian armed forces. At the same time, Dim received a shrapnel wound, but was able to leave the blast site, inject anesthesia, and continue demining. A ground drone carrying supplies to a howitzer unit in the forest belt in the Pokrovsk direction was destroyed. The howitzer crew waiting for supplies in the forest did not escape the Russian drone attack. The howitzer in the forest was first hit by a bomb-laden drone. Then an incendiary drone arrived and set the position on fire. Kharkiv region. As a result of the cooperative work of drones and assault infantry groups, the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces were stormed and Ukrainian soldiers were offered to surrender. Having laid down their weapons and surrendered, the Ukrainian soldiers were safely evacuated from the area. Footage of the operation in Toretsk. The first image shows Russian troops clearing the settlement in the Limansk direction. In the second image, soldiers from the assault units of the 67th Motorized Rifle Division of the 25th Combined Arms Army of the Western Group take part in active offensive actions. A UAV control point of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected near the village of Serebryanka. Artillery of the 3rd All-Union Army of the Southern Troop Group destroyed the UAV control point. Near Chasiv Yar, a Gaz 66 4x4 military transport truck hit a mine. The crew quickly abandoned the truck. Then, a Russian FPV drone slowly approached the truck and destroyed it with a powerful explosion. Troops of the 36th Combined Arms Army and the 14th Independent Guard Special Forces Brigade conducted a fire attack on a UAV checkpoint near Otradnoye. One Baba Yaga was also shot down by an FPV drone airstrike. Kharkiv direction. Night attack. VT-40 drones destroyed all the enemy equipment, pickups, minivans, bukanka they saw during the night. At the same time, in one of the camouflaged positions was the American International Max Pro. It and all other equipment were destroyed during these night attacks. It looks like the infantry of the armed forces of Ukraine will now have to move on foot. An armored personnel carrier vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces, moving in an open area, lost its rotation as a result of a Russian FPV drone attack. Immediately afterwards, the armored vehicle became immobile as a result of several drone attacks. The crew of the armored vehicle quickly abandoned the vehicle. 4-wheeled ATVs came to rescue the crew. But there was one thing they did not take into account. Russian spotters were still there, and new attack drones were already on their way. The ATV driver was speeding across the terrain when several of the passengers fell off. The ATV driver realized the drones were coming and accelerated away without the passengers. The personnel, who became easy targets in the open, did not survive. A fighter threw a grenade, but it bounced off a tree. The fighter coolly grabbed the grenade from the air and threw it away, saving his life. Ukrainian trenches and bunkers were heavily shelled by Russian artillery. Several Ukrainian infantrymen were trapped by the collapse of the earth. A Ukrainian soldier saved the lives of his friends by digging the earth with his hands to save them. The fighting on the front continues in full intensity. We are working hard all day to prepare unique images for you. Don't forget to support us.
Все нормально, живий. Можеш рухатись?
Придавило ще одну руку.
Пацани, розкапуйте зі свого боку.
Давайте быстрее, блядь, відкапуй! Або дай я, якщо не можеш. Виходь!
Серега, все нормально, сейчас вытащим.
Та не спіши. Я все нормально чувствую. Вроде бы.
Братан, давай, руку шевелиться. Давай, братан. Руку тяни. Скажіть, хай поможе.
Пошел.
Все, вперед, туди пішли, блядь.
Серега, ты как? Отлично. Нормально?
Russian UAV operators in the Sumy region found 5 Cossack armored personnel carriers in an underground garage of the Ukrainian armed forces near Novaya Pisarevka. The 5 armored vehicles were then destroyed in the garage by Russian FPV drones. In a small section of the front line near the border village in the Sumy region, near the Russian border, a Russian FPV drone hit the 4-wheeled ATV vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces hard. UAV operators of the 238th Artillery Brigade's Assault and Reconnaissance Division successfully used the Lancet kamikaze drone as part of battery operations against another Ukrainian mortar formation. As a result of a precise fire attack, the Ukrainian position was eliminated. Russian Air Force aviation struck the Ukrainian Defense Center in the village of Yampol with FAB bombs. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that Special Forces units of the South troops captured the crew of a destroyed tank, and at least 10 Air Force soldiers captured a large fortified Ukrainian armed forces stronghold and destroyed an M113 armored personnel carrier in the Alexandro-Kalinovsky direction in the DNR, and also published footage of the work of the Special Forces. Don't forget to join our Telegram group.
Мужики, сдавайтесь по-хорошему. Давай, я вижу тебя! Давай, потихонечку! Руки за голову! Руки за голову! Ну вы просто нервы тоже поднимайте, мужики, вы медлите, давай, давай.
Moments of the capture of the Ukrainian Armed Forces troops. Special Forces UAV operators of the Southern Group detected and repelled an attack by the Ukrainian Armored Group using American M113 combat vehicles. UAV reconnaissance of the Southern Group detected the movement of the infantry of the armed forces of Ukraine. They hid in a dilapidated building. After the infantry's position was stabilized, a Russian attack drone moved in and destroyed the building. In the same direction, UAV operators spotted a camouflaged Ukrainian BMP and destroyed it with a single drone strike. Near the same forested area, Russian drone operators uncovered Ukrainian vehicles and destroyed them one by one. Russian reconnaissance has uncovered a mortar position of the Ukrainian armed forces. First, the artillery unit fired a powerful artillery shell at the position. Then an FPV drone was launched and penetrated into the position, destroying it.